We'll now move on to the next item, 6.4, consideration of an agreement between the County of Lake and Paragon Government Relations for professional federal legislative and regulatory advocacy services in the not to exceed amount of $187,660. CEO Parker.
Matthew Rothstein will be introducing this item.
All right.
Good morning, Supervisors. Good morning, Supervisors. Matthew Rothstein, Chief Deputy County Administrative Officer. As members of your board will be aware, the County Administrative Office issued Request for Proposals 2434, seeking professional federal legislative and regulatory advocacy services. 9 proposals were received in response. A consultant selection panel was convened with leadership staff from 4 county departments and the cities of Lakeport and Clear Lake to review all proposals, and follow-up interviews were conducted with the 5 top-ranked respondents. Following this rigorous and competitive procurement process, Paragon Government Relations emerged as top-ranked. The agreement before your board today provides for a $7,000 initial monthly retainer, as well as travel and other direct expenses in the event one or more Paragon staff must fly to California solely on County of Lake business, for example. You may be aware Paragon currently represents the California State Association of Counties, and they also have experience contributing to the development of federal advocacy programs for multiple California counties, including Humboldt and Nevada counties. Our panel found that this combination of experiences well-positioned Paragon to support the County of Lake at this time. Staff recommends your board approve this agreement with Paragon Government Relations in the not-to-exceed amount of $187,660, contingent on the protest period elapsing without a valid protest. As noted in the memo to your board, taking this action today could allow Paragon to be under contract and able to contribute to your board's governance workshop, which will be Tuesday, January 28. 6 of the 8 firms that were not recommended for award have directly responded to our notices of intent to award, and none signaled they would submit a protest. We do not anticipate receiving a protest as of this time. And also Joe Cron and Hassan Sarsour of Paragon are available in Zoom to answer any questions your board may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. They're just waiting for questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Supervisor Sabatier?
I'll just make some comments. Obviously, they're very engaged with CSAC, so I've seen them in action, and I have no issues or questions regarding their expertise and capabilities. I do have a question. I was not aware, and until you mentioned Humboldt, and there's certain things currently and potentially in the future where there might be some conflict. How does that work in the sense that we want to continue to have federal lobbying support when there's conflicts between clients? How do they work those issues out so we can continue to do the work that we're planning to do at the federal level?
Yes. So I would say first and foremost that Humboldt County is handling their own federal advocacy. Internally, we asked Paragon about this. And so there should not be any issue with Paragon assisting with scheduling meetings, for example. And county staff would likely tend to be representing the county internally as well, as similar to what the practice has been with Humboldt County. But Joe and Hassan are also here, and they can speak to, generally speaking, how conflicts would be handled.
Thank you for that, Matthew, and good morning, everyone, and appreciate the opportunity to be on with you this morning. Yeah, Matthew, I think as described, and that's certainly an area that we're sensitive to. No one wants to have to go through a conflict of interest situation. Luckily, fortuitously, we haven't had many or really any of those situations. Again, the situation with Humboldt and Potter Valley, there may be potentially, as you said, given a couple of issues, there could be a potential for a conflict. Again, we will address that head on if that's the case. Certainly, if we're aware of it, we're going to be bringing it to your board and bringing it to Humboldt. That's Potter Valley, something that we've certainly monitored for them. But as we discussed with Matthew and your interview team as well on this issue, it's a very parochial one in which, I think your members of Congress are going to be looking at that regionally and locally. So we're aware of it and we'll address it. As Matthew said, I think some of that work can be done in-house. Outside of that, we certainly don't see any conflicts. But again, we'll be the first to raise that if we're aware of anything that comes up.
Appreciate the response. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Vice Chair?
Yes, I just wanted to quickly comment that I appreciate all the work that's put into this. I think this is essential for us and moving forward in the future, and I appreciate that the city's collaborated with the county on this selection. Thank you.
All right, go ahead and open it up for the public. If there's anyone that would like to make a comment about this item, then please come up. Is there anyone in Zoom? All right. Benjamin, if you can unmute, state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Hi again. My name is Ben Hiddle. I've been following these online, and recently, last year, the board was going to take $20 million and borrow it for the county and roofing projects and other things for the jail. Instead of that, Joe and Hassan, I am much more interested in doing renewable projects.
Benjamin, that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about right now.
Can I finish what I'm saying, and then it will tie right back in? And can I retain my 3 minutes?
It's not on this. You've already had your public input.
This is for a separate thing. This is, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, these guys are aligning with our federal advocacy for laws.
So do you have any?
Am I correct?
Do you have any input about the item on the agenda about the contract? Is what I'm asking. Because if it's
yes, in the contract, I would like to see, because I see that they've worked with many other counties, many places in California. That's wonderful, but some real objectives that they're going to hit with a timeline. And do they have that? And if not, I would like to include that in their contract, please, or have you guys look over something like that so we get real deliverables rather than running the county.
Well, when we have the governance meeting, then that would be a more beneficial time for you to make this statement when they come forward, like Mr. Rothstein has said. Thank you. Are there any other? Okay, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
If I may, Chair. And I was actually going to ask this when we brought it back to the board, and I understand the reason for the question. This is simply just a contract, but we will have, like we do with our state lobbyists, we have a full list of priorities. This is not something that is negotiated by staff. This is something that's going to be deliberated by the entire board to decide what our priorities are, and that will be done, I think, on our January 28th meeting. Is that correct?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to provide a little bit more detail because I did feel that part was missing and waited a little too long to speak to it because somebody asked a question.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the agreement between the County of Lake and Paragon Government Relations for professional federal legislative and regulatory advocacy services in the not-to-exceed amount of $187,660 and authorize the chair to sign. I had a feeling that was missing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much for that. All right.